It Ends With Us author Colleen Hoover has completely deactivated her Instagram. Over 2 million followers are now just gone, which begs the question, does she regret siding with Blake Lively in the Justin Baldoni drama?
Hey there, ladies. And boy oh boy, have I got a swirling double dose of scandal for you today. Yes, it's still about the It Ends With Us collapse, but trust me, the story just thickened. Not only are we witnessing Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni dance a tight tango of claims and suspected hush-hush romance, but now Colleen Hoover, the very author behind the popular novel, has suddenly noped out of Instagram totally. 2 million followers gone, poof, adios. But before we unravel whether Colleen is fleeing because she regrets siding with Blake or whether something else is up, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to keep these drama vibes coming. So let's harness in for another ride through Tinseltown's biggest fiasco. If you hop over to Colleen Hoover's Instagram, you won't find her. She had a startling 2 million fans and now poof, radio silence. Typically, an author with that large a platform doesn't suddenly depart until something's disturbed her, and sure, we're terrified all right, as reports claim she's facing the heat from fans after apparently picking Blake's side in the Big Blake against Justin meltdown.
Oh boy. If you're not familiar with her, she is Colleen Hoover, the author whose novel Justin Baldoni found, optioned, and turned into the movie co-starring Ryan Reynolds' wife and Taylor Swift's bestie, Gossip Girl alum and B-list actress Blake Lively.
Perez Hilton, undoubtedly the king of OG celebrity blogs, pointed out that Colleen might be dodging the vitriol, or maybe she's recalculating her opinion. Hard to say, but whatever the reason, she's pulled the plug on IG, leaving everyone yelling, "Girl, what is happening? Remember, it ends with us?" As Colleen's baby, she penned it. Justin snagged the rights incredibly early, and only then did it become a blowout phenomenon. So when the topic regarding potential off-screen sparks or creative hijacking by Blake Lively grew hot, fans wondered, where does Colleen stand? Turns out she partnered with Blake, the rumored co-conspirator pressing for creative control, and in our alleged outburst that would overshadow Justin's initial vision. The result? Fans are condemning Colleen for ditching Justin, who apparently championed her plan from day one, in favor of the more glamorous approach with Blake. So sure, the fallout has been massive, and now she's off IG. Mystery explained, kind of.
So for anybody who hasn't read the book or seen the film already, tell our audience what it's about.
Well, it's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring. And
if you're new to the scene, here's the lowdown. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were slated to act in and direct this tearjerker about domestic violence rehabilitation, a novel that fans particularly admired for its emotional depth and nuance. Everything seemed to be going perfectly until, out of nowhere, murmurs started circulating. Rumors about behind-the-scenes turmoil began to surface, with some suggesting that Blake had even revised half of the screenplay. And, of course, as if that wasn't dramatic enough, a lawsuit, yes, a full-on lawsuit, hit the headlines, the kind that might easily be confused for a Hollywood blockbuster. Because let's face it, Tinseltown can't manage to achieve anything on a tiny scale. But wait, there's more. The rumors didn't end there. The rumor was that there might have been some passionate text messages exchanged between the two stars, further fanning conjecture that maybe the friction between them wasn't all creative differences after all. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, Blake's hilarious husband, has kept curiously silent, prompting fans to wonder whether he's quietly raging behind closed doors or maybe thinking of the appropriate caustic tweet to contribute his 2 cents. It was enough drama to fill an entire trilogy of movies. And then Colleen, the author, rushes in to aid Blake, and that's when things really heated up. Enter Perez, the gossip king, to spill even more tea. Be careful to subscribe to him. My buddy just got banned from TikTok. Sad face.
Oh boy. Perez Hilton here, and if you're not familiar with her, she is Colleen Hoover. So, Colleen Hoover has ended it. She's finally had enough. She just took down her entire page. Not there. You can verify for yourself.
He's been criticizing Blake, labeling her as Amber Heard 2.0, and insinuating that her charges might just be a series of big-time manipulations. The case files even go as far as to say that Blake never even bothered to read the novel that she's starring in, which is devastating if proven true. Meanwhile, Colleen continues to remain by her star, further sensing that people are beginning to consider Justin as the actual victim in this complex circumstance. One significant issue still lurks. Though, how much does Colleen genuinely know about the catastrophe that happened behind closed doors? Did Blake feed her a specific narrative, one that contrasts dramatically with the receipts Justin has on hand? The more we see, the more it looks like Colleen could have placed her wager on the wrong horse. If that turns out to be the case, it's probable that she's now regretting it. Perhaps that's even why she has ghosted Instagram lately, avoiding the public light to dodge the reaction. Let's not forget that Colleen had a meltdown of her own a while back. Remember when she tried to release a "It Ends With Us" coloring book? Yes, a coloring book for a novel that's mostly about domestic abuse. The internet totally facepalmed, universally condemning it tone-deaf and dumb. She did apologize, of course, conceding that it was a poor idea, but that calamity was nothing compared to the current drama she finds herself embroiled in now. However, it did set a precedent. When Colleen's fans understand that she's committed a moral misstep, they don't hesitate to come after her with pitchforks. Now, with Colleen openly praising a performer who perhaps turned a picture into an alleged glam fest, many are labeling her hypocritical. They accuse her of turning a blind eye to the deeper, more serious matter of domestic abuse. As a result, the hostility surrounding her has grown, almost tripling in volume. This torrent of criticism likely contributed to her current Instagram seclusion. We also obtain a glimpse of the difficult issue through the revealed emails in the litigation. Justin, long before the book had acquired considerable fame, was the one who was raving about it to everyone who would listen. He marketed himself as the custodian, the curator of Colleen's cherished story. Colleen seemed to trust him, and she even agreed with his description of himself as the book's guardian, further complicating her predicament today.
Given all this experience, Colleen Hoover might not just jump to defend Blake Lively. But she did. She did.
She was involved in every aspect of this production.
I came here today to say, as a man, that this is wrong, this is toxic, and it has to end.
They seemed in agreement with the desire to keep the film genuine, respectful, not swamped by glam. Then TikTok frenzy swelled, the novel became unstoppable, and possibly Colleen realized she could have overpriced her baby. Did Justin refuse to renegotiate? Possibly. Did that lead to friction? Possibly. Enter Blake with all her superstar brightness, maybe giving Colleen the world. Next thing you know, the author is chanting Blake's praises, rejecting Justin's original champion position. The fans took note and are not thrilled. So why the Amber Heard 2 label from Perez? Because it echoes that identical pattern, a star-making. Huge claims, lawsuits looming, contrasting footage coming that shows not everything is as they say. The greater question is Blake pulling a "I was coerced" card to overshadow her own POS actions? Or is Justin the manipulator? Public opinion mostly stands with Justin, especially after witnessing critical behind-the-scenes tapes that don't jive with Blake's statements. Colleen, meanwhile, has voiced her support behind Blake, so some feel she's in cahoots to rewrite the meltdown narrative, disregarding the "he never read the novel" statement now comically boomerangs back at Blake for allegedly not reading it herself. This breakdown represents the dictionary definition of irony. We can't skip the hot topic. Where is Ryan in all this? Typically, he'd be all on social media with Smart Rose, but thus yet, not a peep. Some admirers think he's in damage control, mode behind closed doors, possibly hush-hush to avoid fanning the flame. Others say he's letting the meltdown unfold, constructing a wonderful comic gotcha answer once the dust settles. Either way, this is a new look for him: silence. Fans who regularly see him standing by his wife could wonder if the story is so messy that even Deadpool is speechless. That alone heightens the tension. If Ryan doesn't openly support Blake, is he internally disagreeing with her stance? Social media being social media has gone bananas. Hashtags referencing Team Justin, Blake, Justin, Ryan, stance, :DGO, everyone's reposting alleged texts, studying screenshot typefaces, and running complicated Blake must be lying discussions. These fans might not have law degrees, But in 2023, a determined fandom can pull apart receipts better than any detective show. One minute they're thanking Colleen for her caring writing, the next they're denouncing her for aligning with the wrong side, pushing her to resign from IG. It's a total fandom fiasco. Guys, with all this excitement, what about the film itself? It Ends With Us is supposedly positioned for a release shrouded by scandalous conjecture. The marketing people must be sobbing in their cappuccinos right now because a heart-wrenching narrative about DV might get overshadowed by convoluted lawsuits, supposed secret crushes, and star D-Med feuds. But weirdly, controversy sells. People may line up out of pure curiosity like, I want to see if the on-screen tension is as steamy as the rumored texts. The question is, will it overshadow the novel's crucial message, turning it into a carnival sideshow?
He alleges in his lawsuit against what many are calling Amber Heard 2.0 that she never even read the novel, and he's got texts to prove it.
Possible watch for reshoot rumors or more leaked texts to keep us salivating. By deactivating her account, is Kane merely conceding she messed wrong, or is she retreating to let the meltdown blow over? Hard to say. Some fans applaud turning away. From negativity, others interpret it as she can't manage the reaction for defending Blake, since if she were fully secure, might she not stand her ground? This might be a partly attempt at damage control. Cut the feed, hush the critics. We'll see whether she returns with a statement like, I needed a mental health break. That's absolutely feasible and valid, but for now, many read the absence as a suggestion that she's regretting letting star power override the dedication to Justin. Is there a chance for a miraculous 180? Maybe if Blake and Justin do? A joint statement, or if Ryan cracks a hilarious joke that diffuses tension, perhaps the meltdown settles down enough for the film's positive message to shine again. But the internet has a memory, men, and it can be ruthless. If the dust eventually settles, we might still see the brand damaged persisting for a time. One possibility everyone holds. Hush hush, settlement negotiations. The meltdown hushes. The picture premieres with limited advertising fanfare, and the public goes on to the next big scandal. We all know how fleeting the social media attention span is, but the meltdown stain on Colleen, Blake, and co. might never totally wash off. We continually heard the expression in Hollywood gossip, no one's too big to fail. The crowd that thought Blake was impregnable is suddenly seeing her brand questioned. Meanwhile, Justin, the lesser-known character, finds up having people supporting him thanks of neatly slipped receipts. Colleen Hoover, once a cherished to her readers, is experiencing the fan rage of turning away from the man who first believed in her work. It's a cautionary tale. Siding with the big star for clout can boomerang if that star is perceived as manipulative or dishonest. And that's precisely the sentiment many fans are reading because, honey, the meltdown is far from done. Do me a favor, touch that like button and subscribe if you're searching more sizzling exposies. I'll be here fanning the fires in a purely journalistic sense, of course, providing you every new leak, every critic tweet, and every rumor twist that develops from this fiasco. Right now, Colleen's exodus from Instagram highlights precisely how radioactive the repercussions is in the digital era. You can't hide from a fiasco you helped spark. Fans will discover you. Meanwhile, the rest of us are addicted to our feeds. Will Blake make a statement? Will Justin expose other texts? Will Ryan Reynolds finally type up a savage tweet? Until next time, I'm Madison, star reminding you that Hollywood heartbreak is often more dramatic off-screen than on-screen. Stay messy, stay blessed, and keep it locked here for the next chap-cap in this spinning saga, because in Tinseltown, the tea just keeps getting hotter, and you know we're all about it.